How to killing your jungle camps and how to kiting them. So what's the benefits you're gonna get kiting your jungle camps? The main benefit you're gonna have kiting your camps is that you can bring it closer to your next camp. So basically that's gonna save you a lot of time over the time of game. So you can see it's a huge difference for those people which doesn't do the kiting and those who does. Another trick I can tell you is you have to hit 3 times the buff and then you walk away. So hit 3 times the buff and then walk away. So that's the most optimized way to kite your jungle camps for a single target, I mean. And at the same time, you can see the yellow bar in the top of the red bar of his life. That's the reset bar. So if that bar gets red, the camp is gonna reset. So if I walk a bit further, the camp is gonna reset. So then you're gonna lose a lot of time that you've been saving. So the tips I want to give you is keep an eye on that bar. In the meantime, you push your red buff to your next camp. Another thing you can do as well is in the meantime you auto attacking, you can right away spam your abilities. So basically don't use your abilities when you're auto attacking, otherwise you're gonna cancel your auto attack, so you lose one hit, so you're doing less DPS, damage per second, than you're supposed to be doing. Now we're gonna talk to how to do the Krugs camp. The first thing you have to think about the Krugs is they need to be kiting. This very annoying camp that everyone struggles to do with. So basically what we're gonna do is hit the big Krug and pull them out. So once you pull them out, you're gonna hide behind the big Krug and try to kite the little one. So you hit and go from one side, hit, go to the other side. Basically that's what you do to avoid the damage from the small Krug. And at the same time, you can still use your abilities in the meantime. So when you got the 3 of them, you're gonna hit them and pull to the other side. Hit one and pull the others to the other side. So that's the best way, and try to keep hitting the same Krug. Remember that when you start to have the small ones, you can start kiting to your next camp, but make sure you don't kite that much because the bar on the little one doesn't show up. So be attention to that so that you don't lose your reset time. And up to here on this line, you can be kiting then, and then you go to your next camp. So how do you do the raptors? The main thing for the junglers who use Machete is to target only one raptor, or best saying, only targets the little ones, because they have a lot of DPS, so basically they're gonna hit you pretty hard if you keep all of them. And at the same time you have to start kiting them. Remember to kite the raptors and don't keep hitting only the big one, because the big one is not gonna die soon. So in the meantime the little one's gonna give you a lot of damage that you don't need to be taking. Remember that you can pull out the raptors and go to your next camp. So the wolves camps is the same principle of the raptors. You're gonna hit the small ones and try to kite back the others. So that way you don't get hit by all of them, but the small ones is gonna give you more damage than the big one. At the same time you're gonna be hitting the big wolf and pull them to the next camp. For the Gromp camp, you might not know, but the Gromp has a bonus attack speed on the first 5 attacks. If you try to trade against the Gromp, he's gonna have more auto attack speed than you gonna actually have. So if you click on the monster, you're gonna check it has 1.00 attack speed per second, and you in the meantime you go 0.75. So basically if you're gonna change hit by hit with the Gromp, you're gonna lose it. So what you're gonna be doing with the Gromp is you're gonna be hitting the Gromp, kiting back, hitting the Gromp, kiting back. So that way you force the Gromp to exchange one by one with you. Otherwise you're gonna be losing the attack speed. Now you can see the attack speed of the Gromp fall up for 50, so that way you'll be covered. The trick to be doing the blue buff is you can keep the same principle of the red buff, 3 auto attacks and move kiting away to your next camp, which is the Gromp. And in the meantime you can still land your abilities after your auto attack. And when the blue buff beholds like around 500 health, you can smite the Gromp and bring them together. So that way you basically don't lose time going to the Gromp. So the Gromp comes to you, so that will be much easier and less time for you to spend. So for those champions who use Talisman and have AoE abilities like Amumu, you can be kiting the small rug and at the same time hitting them with your spam abilities. So basically that's what we want to do. Be kiting them and be sure that we hit them at the same time when they get spawned. So for example, here the small ones I don't even need to hit or spawn my abilities. I want to make sure I finish them both together so I can spawn my abilities and kill them all together. So here basically I don't even need to hit them, I can just walk away and I'll be fine. It's the same principle for the raptors. You want to be attacking all together and trying to kite them towards the big one. So you're gonna be hitting only the big one and leave it the small ones. So the small ones don't even matter. So for those jungles like Shyvana, Amumu, it's a really good way to spam your abilities and kite the jungle camps. You can have a really fast clear without losing much health. And so you not be focusing on the small ones. So another trick when you're gonna do your blue buff, you can start pulling the blue buff as we talk about the technique of the 3 auto attacks, more 3 auto attacks, and then when you're gonna start to see the blue buff, it's around 500 health. You can smite your Gromp and bring them together, so then you can finish both without losing much health. It's a very good way for you to do your 2 multiple camps at the same time with those champions with AoE abilities like Amumu and Shyvana. So I hope you guys could understand how it works with junglers in the aspect of kiting your jungle camps, especially with the Machete junglers, which are gonna be targeting one only single target, and with the Talisman's jungles, which you're gonna be targeting the big target and kiting the small ones, and try to hit with AoE abilities all at once to finish them off. So thank you very much. I will continue training here, and I hope you guys can use the practice tool to train a lot of your clearing jungles as well.